Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Vishnu Harshan here, your go-to marketing guy. So we have a guest here, uh, Laris Sharma. She is from Germany and she is a love coach. She help women with dating and transform their love life to an authentic and healthy and happy relationship. Am I right?
Yeah,
I got
you
it right.
are Vishnu.
Yeah.
I'm
So
Vishnu. Yeah. Yes.
thanks for coming for the show, joining this show, and you look gorgeous today. And how are you doing today?
Hello, Vishnu. I'm very fine. Thank you for having me. It's a great honor to be here.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, so you are a love coach, Laris, and let's start with your relationship because you have an international marriage, right? Because your husband is from
That's
India.
true.
So
Yes.
yeah, for the sake of audience, I know a little bit about it, but for the sake of the audience, how you got into it, to this beautiful
Yeah.
international marriage.
Oh, actually, I've always been an international person. It's not that I was like looking out for an international thing.
Yeah.
I I have been living in Germany for quite a long time. I migrated here with my family when I was a kid. I was 10 years old,
Yeah.
and I come from Kazakhstan originally, but even in Kazakhstan, I was a German. My ancestors, they were Germans and they migrated to Russia. And then, like in the 1930s, even before World War II, Stalin said, okay, the Germans, we just, like we get them deported to Kazakhstan and Siberia, and they can build up the country there because there was no industrialization yet there yet. And so that's how my family, but I was not even born yet. My grandma was like 6, 7 years. My grandmas, they were that age. They always told me about it. So that's how we ended up in Kazakhstan. And even in Kazakhstan, it was very multicultural, or the whole Soviet Union, because it was still Soviet Union when I left in 88. Was very multicultural. In my street where I lived as a kid, okay, most of the people were like me, these Russia Germans. It's called Russia Germans, people who are German, with German origin, but born in Russia or later than Kazakhstan. But there were also some Ukrainians in our street, some Koreans, and yeah, so from the beginning. But the funny part is that my siblings, they are not that international as I am. So it's also something very specific to me. And when we migrated to Germany, I loved learning. Even I knew a little bit of German, but that was some very old German, that we got conveyed by my grandmas and all.
Yeah, you mean
I
the
had to learn
traditional
German.
German language, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up actually with German and Russian, at the same time. Even like first maybe more of that old German, then I went to school in Kazakhstan, then it was more Russian, and then later when I went to Germany, I had to relearn German, or I had to learn it actually from the scratch because it was different German and my German was not as fluent. So I loved it. I loved the experience. Even it was tough, to be like this, what do you call it? Like culture. I had a culture shock and all that, but yeah, and then somehow I didn't have many, boyfriends or men, but the ones I had, they were all from different cultures, somehow.
Yeah.
And when I was studying, one of my years, I went to the USA and I was studying there, like, one of my student years. And I had to teach German there too. I was a German language assistant. And when I came back to Germany, I felt like, wow, I need something international in my life. I just cannot live like I used to live before, And I even wanted to go back to the USA. But then, life and fate, I don't know, I met my husband at the company I was working, at the company that I'm still working for. I was working as a student. And then I met him just, just in the canteen, and we just looked at each other, and I don't know, it was like love at first sight. And later he talked to me and asked me out. Yeah, and my experience, for me, it's really nice.
Yeah.
I love the Indian culture. I mean, there are some things I don't like about it, but that's just normal, yeah.
Yeah, like I can also relate to that. I am also an international person from my family. I have a brother and
Oh, well,
brother and
yes.
sister, but they are not that international. Like I have worked with international people, I meet with them. So, because I grew up in Dubai. I think
Oh, you
in
never told me.
Dubai is also another international hub. You meet
Yeah, I know.
many
I've
other
never been there, but
cultures.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can completely relate to that. And yes, as you said, having an international and different flavor is altogether, it expands our
It expands and
yeah,
enriches our world, our life, and
yeah,
our brain, I think, like learning different languages, being open to different cultures, and just to know that there's no just one right way to think, one right mentality or to do things, but there are many, because different cultures, different religions do it differently, and
yeah.
and that's an enrichment.
Yeah, great. So so for the people who are not married or like who are looking for a love partner or a dating partner, so
Yes.
what are your suggestions for them who are getting started?
Yeah, to get started with that topic, it's a big question actually, and I get asked that question so many times by men and women. Many people contact me via whatever DM on Instagram or Facebook, and they kind of like, so where should I go or what should I do? And I'm like, this is exactly the wrong way to start. You should not do or go or you should not run or search for love. Love is something, love is more like an energy and an attitude of yours, and it has to be inside you. That's what I believe, and to start dating and if you want to get into a relationship and later marriage or whatever your goals are, any goal is okay, like I'm not judging anyone. I'm not saying that everyone has to end up in marriage, but you have the word relationship, it's still different, but you have to be real. relationship we maybe need to add an A. You have to be really real, which means for me, you cannot go into a relationship before you know yourself very well. I mean, you can, and you will get to know. Okay, I'm not saying that I think you will get to know yourself better in a relationship as well, because relationships are actually for that, also to get to know ourselves, and they're like, the partner is usually like a mirror, and but there's maybe that should be always parallelly. Either if you're in a relationship or not, you should always do like some inner work. Inner work is, you should know like your own boundaries, your own values, your expectations, and your own wounds, traumas, because everyone has a childhood, everyone has a life, and we will bring that into the relationship with us, and it will stir up the relationship too. So so inner work has to be done even when you're in the relationship, but also before. So this is what I recommend to people.
To start with the self-love, right? Because this happened.
Self-love, that's true. Exactly.
It happened with my wife as well. Like when I got married, she was thinking like I am the guy who, I am someone who should
perfect guy.
make her happy. So then, eventually we worked through it, and slowly her perception began to change. So it took time. It's like I'm married for 8 years now.
Yeah, it's a co-creation, right? It's a co-creation. And communication also, like the communication needs to be there, and the willingness, of course.
Great.
And as you said, she was expecting from you that you make her happy. And I'm not blaming her, because, that's somehow the whole myth and culture around love. And it has been, we have been conditioned into that. And like, this comes a lot, even like from movies, fairy tales. If you just look at Hollywood, Bollywood, Disney, and they show like, oh, it's all about like getting each other and to overcome some obstacles, but then the prince comes and rescues the princess, and they never tell what is after that. And that is when the relationship, the marriage starts, and that is actually when the actual work starts. And most people, they just know that part, and they're like, they have such huge expectations for that partner to make them happy. But actually, especially for women, we need to be happy ourselves and to know how to make ourselves happy. And this is what as I said, the inner work and the self-love is made for.
Because having the right partner is the key. So that comes to the next question. like how important is to have the right partner in your life, so that affects your business or your career. So
Right.
yeah.
I
So
got you.
what are your thoughts on it? Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. You know, first we have to clarify what is the right partner. That's also a very big word, you know, like also some misconceptions around it. So for me, I define it for me and also for my clients, you know, the people I worked with or have been working with, that right means you are willing and ready to build for that person, yeah, to co-create that life or relationship or whatever. And the person should also be willing, right? And be open. And that means showing your vulnerability, being authentic. Like your wife, she told you probably, but I'm expecting this and this from you, and you're not delivering. So what's going on, you know? So this is already part of vulnerability. And of course, once you have that person, it's really important for every realm or field of life, you know, like also for your health. And it's very important for entrepreneurship, you know, because you have to be a team in a way. And I think, you know, I'm myself new to entrepreneurship, and I'm just starting now, you know, with my coaching business, and don't have much experiences, but you, I think, have more experiences maybe, and as a marketing expert anyhow. But like you have to get, you know, things set with that person also. You have to tell the person, and it's not just if you're an entrepreneur, also if you're working as an employee for a company, you know, sometimes some jobs are very stressful and they involve traveling and I don't know, and some periods are more stressful. So yeah, you have to go hand in hand, especially when the kids come, you know, if you're in a marriage then and have kids, it should be at least a person who is willing, and that is what I said is the right person, willing to go that way and to, you know, it's never gonna be perfect. You have to work on the whole. It's a journey. It's a journey. That's maybe the right term. It's a journey from beginning to end. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a long journey. Even in my case also, I can see that like I have few things from my wife's end to be changed. Like I want, for example, she to be a health conscious. Like she's not little back on about her own health as a problem, as a continuous thing. She has illness and things like that.
Yeah,
But
I understand.
and from my end also, she wants some things to be changed. So
which
but
is
it takes
natural.
time. It takes time. Like maybe
changing
1
is
year,
difficult.
2 year, 3 year, it will take. So
changing is also a journey, an ongoing process.
Yeah, so then I understood, having any imperfect things in a relationship is also part of a relationship, right?
Exactly. That's what I said. If you have a life, like also health issues sometimes, or whatever comes up in your business or work, it will stir the, it will kind
because
of.
in business you have tension days, you have bad days, and when you come home,
good and bad
you
times.
need a good energy. So that is really important. Yeah, thanks for.
And as you're saying, the change, it's so difficult to change, actually, even ourselves. And actually, that's the only thing that's in our power, that we can change actually only ourselves. And by changing ourselves, we also change the partner in a way, because the partner has to react to that or to respond. Let's say respond. Reacting is not the best term, but respond, and they might change too. It's usually like this role model. Maybe if you live and show her that you are improving your health or your habits, for a better, healthy life, that will be like a huge role model for her. Who knows? When we kind of insist on, change that.
Yeah,
it's sometimes
nothing going to happen.
Yeah.
I learned.
It's a co-creation, and it's a lot about energies, This is what I do in my coaching. It's a lot about energy. I do energy work too. Sometimes you have to have that mindset shift, and then your energy also changes, and we can change energy like with meditations and stuff like that, like energy work, breath work, somatic practices. So this is also all part of my mentorship and coaching.
Good to know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, meditation really helps. Like
Oh, yes.
Yeah, when you are in a relationship, as you said, you are getting another two eyes to see how you are as a person, how you are responding to things. So
Oh,
when they
yes.
are saying, you did this, that in that event, then I was like, oh, did I do that? So,
Yeah, yeah.
so that
It's
that
two
really helped.
perspectives. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's two different. Sometimes maybe they're also very different. And then we also have to tolerate that, But we have to learn also, changing is good, but we have to learn a lot to love our partner, like to accept, like love has a lot to do with understanding and acceptance. And there are some things that are just their limitations. And they're not willing, or they don't know how to change, and nothing helps. And we also have to learn that, like the acceptance and understanding. And it depends then how much can you live with those limitations. Some people, they might not be able anymore to live with
Yeah.
such limitations, and it breaks. Yeah.
So, like, about relationships, like how long it takes to understand, your partner in a relationship, like
As I said,
the
this is
typical
a
question.
journey.
Yeah.
And I've been with my husband. We've been together for 19 years now, and we're still getting to know each other. It's like it's an ongoing journey. It's a lifelong journey. And once I even read something which I found really interesting and like mind-blowing. It was about like an older couple who have lived together for their whole lives, and they're like, the wife died, and the husband said about her, like he was like 80 or something, very old. He said, well, my wife, I experienced her like, I don't know why he said eight, like in eight different, as if there were eight different persons or personalities or versions of her. I don't know how he came to the number eight and how he counted it, but that was very interesting. Like we're changing all the time, even like scientifically based or proven, it's like our cells change every 17 seconds,
Yeah.
they're working, and we change. It depends what, like, it can be like, what did we eat? It can change our mood, what people did we meet? All that, because it's all like we're living in an environment, and it's all affecting us, people, food, as I said, and
Yeah. So we are
so it's a lifelong journey.
about-
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a lifelong journey. But of course, some things you will know, after some time, like you will know the basic character traits. But there is a danger. Don't stick to just that. Don't think, oh, I know him, I know her, and because this is kind of, you're limiting that person. You're limiting that person in that way, and that's not a good idea. Just stay open, stay always open, and ask questions, especially in a confrontation and conflict situation. Or ask them, how can I love you better? What can I do to make you feel better? Because you can work on yourself and change yourself, right?
Yeah.
That sometimes works
Yeah.
like wonders if you
Because
ask them
of
such
because of the social media, and we were talking about it, yeah. The people, they need instant gratification. So in
Exactly.
relationship, they are also looking for the same, I think. Like they have an idea about, because of all the social media and all these movies, they have an idea about a partner. And when 1 month or 2 month or 1 year down the line,
Okay.
yeah, you are completely wrong about a relationship. That is when I think the problem happens, right?
Yeah, and this is part of that inner work, or even relationship work, that you have to sort out the expectations. The earlier the better, very early on. You have to talk about it, and you have to talk about the values, ask the person. And what is or not most important, but one of the most important things is, which direction do we want to go, like to have some joint plans, some for the future also, because if one wants kids, the other one doesn't want, or one just wants to have maybe an affair and the other one doesn't. And you have to be very honest and communicate it and talk about it and figure out all these expectations, values, plans, dreams, limitations, wounds, because we do also project our own stuff on the person. Yeah.
I think last time when we connected, you mentioned about the love language test.
Ah, yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
I
that's,
did that, and
did you?
yeah,
Cool,
so I asked my
really?
wife also to do that. So I am a
Wow.
service-minded guy. Like I want
Oh, that's so
wife
typical
to
for
do,
men.
yeah,
That's so typical. This is men's most common love language because
yeah,
men love to do things, right? So,
yeah.
yeah, they're doers.
So she wants to
What about
hear
you?
words, right? So that was
This is also typical for women.
yeah. She was emotional and she wanted to hear words. So then
Words of
then I
affirmation.
started doing the things, you're doing good, you prepared a good meal.
Yeah,
That dress is
like
good.
praising, saying that you love her, like it might not be the exact words, but you can tell her like I missed you yesterday when you were there or something. Yeah, this is a little bit typical, what you're saying. Even and I just posted something on that men and women fall in love, or okay, this is more about the attraction and the falling in love process more than
Yeah.
being done in a relationship. But like men fall in love a lot with their eyes and women with their ears, and that's why women always try to look their best and fake
Yeah.
a lot around with looks in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's why men fake a lot with their words in the beginning,
Yeah.
like giving promises,
Oh,
doing, yeah,
yeah.
making a lot of compliments, and sometimes they promise the moon, and I don't know, and later they can deliver. So
Exactly.
creating like
Yeah, this
really,
happened with me as well. Like when we
I
were
think so.
dating, we were saying, so many things. Then the real life happened. Nobody thinks
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah,
So,
it happens with everyone to everyone of us, like me too, and my husband. He also promised a lot, and then later I'm like, so what's going on? Why are we not doing this, and why are we not going there, and why didn't you bring this? And I have a really good memory, so anything he told me, I still know.
yeah.
So that's the worst. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So
So,
yeah, love languages is a great tool for relationships. Like
yeah.
everyone who doesn't know about the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman should read that book, do the test, and try to integrate it into the daily life also. And I myself even remind. And the thing is, you can even use it not just for romantic relationships. You can use it even for your kids, your parents, your friends. Because
Yeah.
everyone has. And I started to do that with my daughter. Like I found out that she has completely different. Like she likes a lot of quality time. And I don't have
Yeah.
much time, like working, chores, kids,
Yeah.
and yeah, but like quality time means just really to be there completely, not to scroll your phone or watch TV or whatever, or cooking, and talking to the daughter, but to just be there for her, to go somewhere on a
Yeah.
trip or
Yeah.
whatever,
Spend quality time. Yeah.
Yeah, spend quality time. Yeah.
Great, great, great. I think even in our education system, like we are not, authentically learning about how to love someone. We are learning so many things.
Exactly. We
We are
don't learn it
learning
in school.
so much thing from the school with all this 10, 20, 21 years of study. But even we don't know
So true.
how to keep up the relationship with the parents
It's
or
true.
with the siblings
And
and
some things are even taboo, that's like
yeah,
some things are not like talked openly about. And this is really, really a problem, I think. Yeah, there is no subject like relationships, communication.
yeah,
What is very important is emotional intelligence. That's so
yeah,
important
yeah,
in every
emotional.
relationship. And communication skills, we're not really taught that, and this is. And instead, we get all these pictures from the movies, Bollywood, Hollywood, Nollywood, I don't know what you call, or
Yeah,
these songs, or these fairy tale books, like, and then these expectations are so high for that soulmate out there that will come and rescue you and everything and will make you happy forever. This is impossible, So
yeah,
this is what my coaching is all about. First, to get away from these misconceptions and myths, and get to the daily business of it, the co-creation, the communication,
yeah,
vulnerability, yeah. Authenticity. You have to be authentic. You have to be yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to tell the person the good and the bad things,
yeah, great, great. So it was great chatting with you, Laris. And
Same
yeah,
here. Thank
I
you.
think people can learn so many things about, authentically
Yeah.
how
And it's
to
never
love,
ending.
have a partner and everything. So how people can reach out to you, like Yeah, where is the best
Yeah.
option? Yeah.
I have actually only 2 channels right now, and actually in the past 2. You can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm daily, almost daily.
Yeah.
Via just type in conscious love matters, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm working a lot with conscious love. That's what we talked about, is being conscious, getting aware of all these things, right? Getting
Yeah.
aware of your partner's problems and yourself, and the good things like the love languages. And I also do what I forgot to mention. I do a lot of this feminine and masculine energy things, you know,
Yeah.
which is this polarity. That's also a means tool to make a relationship interesting, you know, to keep it vibrant and like being in all these energies, you know. So this is a great topic of mine. So on Instagram under at Conscious Love Matters,
Yeah.
and on Facebook I have a Facebook group there. It's called also Conscious Love Matters. So all you
Conscious
need to
love
know,
matters.
Conscious
So
Love
yeah,
Matters.
people can join there and they can learn about it.
Yes,
Learn
it's
more
a
about
private
it.
group. I mean, we have sometimes private discussions there, you know, so it's a private group, but you can find it. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
I
So
can also send you the links if you do something like LinkedIn.
yeah, I will
or
add it in the under the description
provide
so that
links.
they can
Yes.
find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was great talking to you, Laris, and thanks for coming to the show. And yeah,
Thank you so much too.
let's
It was a
convert
pleasure.
the world into a lovely place.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
happy
Bye.
ending.
Yeah.
Bye, Vishnu. Thank you so much.
Yeah.